Hello everyone. Fibonacci Extension. At Elliott Wave, we are on the third video discussing Fibonacci tools in technical analysis. In this video, I want to discuss Fibonacci Extension, Fibonacci Expansion, or also known as Fibonacci Impulse. The retracement levels we explained in the previous video, known as retracement levels, indicate how far a pullback may go, while extension is a technical analysis tool that allows us to see how much movement can occur in the direction of the trend after this pullback is completed. In summary, retracement levels help us identify probable support and resistance levels. On the other hand, extension, known as expansion or impulse, attempts to determine targets in the trend direction. Expansion is generally a more meaningful technical analysis tool in a downtrend or uptrend. When there is a trend, how far does a movement go? Usually, where does a decline end? Or conversely, how far does an uptrend continue? We try to find the answer to these questions using Fibonacci extension in this context. There is a correlation between wave patterns, expressed in Elliott Wave Theory, and Fibonacci. When I have the opportunity to elaborate more on Elliott Wave Theory, I'll revisit this topic. Fibonacci retracement ratios offer stronger possibilities compared to Fibonacci extension ratios. This is because these ratios have a more direct relationship with the Fibonacci sequence. However, in cases where Fibonacci retracement cannot be used, Fibonacci extension developed to fulfill this need can be advantageous. Dear viewers, now I'll try to explain the use of the Fibonacci extension tool using examples. For technical analysis, I'm using TradingView. I've opened the BTC USDT chart from the site. I'll analyze this chart using the Fibonacci retracement tool I've explained in previous video. Then I will add the retracement analysis. As I've mentioned in previous videos, it's logical to use multiple tools for technical analysis to strive for more consistent results. I selected the Fibonacci tools from the menu and then chose the Fibonacci retracement tool. I'm drawing my Fibonacci tool from the identified low point to the high point. I concluded in a previous video that this graph is consistent. If you haven't watched it yet, you can click on the link above to watch it first. Now I'm once again locating the Fibonacci tools from the menu and then transitioning to the Trend-Based Fibonacci Extension tool. To use the Trend-Based Fibonacci Extension tool, we need to first determine the trend's direction. Here I'd like to examine the movement by considering the dip region found after $69,000, which is $15,000 level as a dip. Then we need to select 3 points. First point, the start of the trend. Second point, a point where the trend direction responds. Third point, where the retracement ends. I'm selecting these points and trying to closely examine the graph. I'm investigating whether the areas shown on the graph form significant zones for price movements. While the price zones seem somewhat consistent, selecting other points for different experiments is also possible. As this video isn't aimed at conducting technical analysis, I'm not exploring different perspectives. If you wish to test yourself, you can conduct experiments and share your results. I'll answer your questions as much as time allows. I've made some adjustments to make the graph more understandable and set the chart to a daily period. Upon reviewing the graph, I see that the areas where price movements accumulated are consistent with Fibonacci areas. You can pause the video here and examine the price movements more carefully. I believe it's possible to find more compatible graphs, but I won't conduct these experiments to avoid prolonging the topic. Now let's interpret this graph and the trend. The area I observed around $28,150 is also marked on my Fibonacci retracement tool. As a Fibonacci extension ratio, we can say this area has served as support several times and as resistance 2 or 3 times. Though we're quite far from this area in terms of price, if the price returns to this area, it would be helpful to remember that this zone represents a robust resistance area. Currently, the Bitcoin price is at $44,000 resistance. If the trend surpasses this resistance, we see that the next area could be $51,300. When we look at our Fibonacci retracement tool, it indicates a resistance area around $53,600, showing a consistency of about 4%. I believe it's essential to remind you that reaching precise prices using technical analysis tools is not possible. Additionally, prices determined as support and resistance are not specific figures but rather price ranges or areas. Considering this, we can think that the analyses using Fibonacci extension and Fibonacci retracement show a similar price zone. According to this analysis, the next resistance level appears to be around $67,600. If the price fails to break $44,000 and moves downwards, according to this chart, we may observe a support zone at $41,200, which has previously worked several times. If I had concluded that the graph drawn was consistent, how could I benefit from this analysis? If the price drops to the support zone, I could consider opening a long position, but this would involve considerable risk. Alternatively, if the price reaches the support zone and rebounds, or if I see that the price stabilizes in that area, I could open a long position which would involve less risk. Of course, the profit rate would also be lower. Alternatively, when the price reaches the resistance zone, I could sell and take my profit. Then I'd watch for other opportunities. Alternatively, when the price reaches the resistance zone, I'd observe the movement and decide accordingly. If I'm certain that the price breaks the resistance without holding any assets, I would open a long position. Stay tuned to be a knowledgeable investor. You can support me by subscribing and enabling notifications. By subscribing to exchanges via my referral links, you can make trades with a 10% commission discount. Thank you for listening. See you in the next videos.